Day I got out, dozens of luxury cars pulled up at the prison gates. Hundreds of my guys dropped to their knees. They opened the door of the lead Mercedes S-Class, begging me to come back and run things. I turned and walked away, leaving them with one line: River Dragon is dead. 15 years ago, I stood alone at the riverside with one blade against 1,000 men. Blood stained half the river. People called me River Dragon. It wasn't until my girlfriend showed up pregnant that I found out I was going to be a dad. Because of my record, no one would hire me. And I wanted to build a relationship with the daughter I hadn't seen in 15 years. My wife kept complaining about the school cafeteria boss serving rotten meat to kids. Said she'd reported him multiple times, but nothing changed. So I set up a food stand outside the school selling lunchboxes. Good quality, cheap prices. Lots of students bought from me. But my daughter Nono wasn't the sweet girl I'd imagined. She was young but hung out with a bunch of troublemakers. The second they saw me, her friends started laughing. "Isn't that your ex-con dad? Dude, I heard you tried stealing scrap metal and cut a power line by accident. 15 years for that? How unlucky can you get?" Continued. Nono was embarrassed. She rushed up to me and begged, "Can you stop coming here and embarrassing me? You're making me look bad in front of my friends." I didn't argue, I just handed her a lunchbox and said gently, "Your mom said you complained about the cafeteria food. I made all your favorite dishes." "Stop embarrassing me. You went to prison for such a pathetic reason since I was little. I had to grow up as a kid without a dad getting bullied. Now I finally got some friends, and you still come here to humiliate me." One of the girls laughed. "Mister, didn't you think about appealing? My cousin broke someone's leg and only got 3 years. You stole scrap and got 15? Ha ha ha. They burst out laughing again. My wife never told our kid my real crime. Can't let people know she's River Dragon's daughter, or I'd bring enemies down on her. I wiped food scraps off my face and said quietly, "Prison isn't something to be proud of. You kids should focus on studying." I pulled out another lunchbox for Nono, she said through gritted teeth. "Having a pathetic dad like you, that's the most embarrassing thing." Right then, the cafeteria boss showed up with a group of guys rushing toward me. He grabbed my lunchbox and smashed it on the ground, jabbing his finger at my face. "Stealing my business, huh? Didn't I tell you if you sell lunchboxes here again, I'd kill you?" I bent down to pick up the boxes. Sorry, I'm leaving now." The cafeteria boss kicked me in the stomach. "Didn't I already warn you once?" No, look, your dad's getting beat up." Nono stared at me hard, fists clenched tight. I knew she was hoping I'd fight back, but I couldn't get in fights anymore. I said sincerely to the cafeteria boss, "Boss, we're both selling $15 meals. I'm not cheaper than you. How's that stealing your business?" "The kids just want decent food," he sneered. "So you're saying my cafeteria food sucks? Let me see how good yours is." The leader of his crew was this big dude. As soon as the boss said that, he grabbed my stand and flipped it over. All the food spilled on the ground and splashed all over me. The boss crouched down, grabbed my hair, and said through his teeth, "You bastard! A dozen parents reported me and couldn't take me down. Now you want to mess with me? You know how many people I know on the streets? Boss, if my stand bothers you, I'll move further away, okay?" My backing down pissed Nono off. She yelled at me through clenched teeth, "Coward, you're pathetic!" After she yelled, the red-haired girl quickly covered her mouth. Sure enough, the cafeteria boss glared at Nono viciously. The cafeteria boss said coldly, "Think you can just walk away? Let's talk compensation first. I heard you sell 300 lunchboxes a day. That means you cost me 300 customers every day. I charge $15 each, that's $4,500 a day. You've been here 10 days, total 45 grand. I was stunned. "Boss, you're bullying me." The cafeteria boss smirked. Turned to the big guy. "He cost me all that money and now he won't pay. What should we do?" The big dude crouched down, grabbed the pepper steak off the ground. "There's more meat than peppers here. You run a business like this? You really don't fear karma, huh?" Then he started beating me. The students watching were outraged. "He sells garbage food and won't let others sell. But this guy's such a coward. If someone did this to me, I'd fight back already. Cowards get bullied." I struggled to sit up, wiped the hot sauce off my face. First thing I saw was Nono looking completely disappointed. "You won't even fight back when someone's beating you?" Continued. The cafeteria boss snapped at Nono impatiently. "Little girl, mind your business. Say one more word." "I'll get you expelled." "No, boss." I quickly grabbed his arm. "Boss, I'm leaving now. You want money, right?" "I can't pay the full amount. How about you tell me your profit margin and I'll compensate that?" The boss's face went cold instantly. He leaned close to my ear. "You think I'm an idiot? You think I'd tell you my profit margins? I'd go out of business." After that, still not satisfied, he slapped me hard across the face twice. Nono watched me get slapped. She yelled furiously, "Fight back! How long are you gonna keep embarrassing yourself?" The cafeteria boss was fed up with Nono. He pointed at her impatiently and told his goon, "Go drag that loudmouth brat over here." The big guy turned toward Nono. The red-haired girl scrambled away, scared, making it clear she had nothing to do with Nono. I panicked, jumped up and rushed toward Nono, but the cafeteria boss grabbed my shirt. I was just wearing a dress shirt. When he yanked it, he tore it wide open. My tattoo was suddenly exposed to everyone. The big guy's eyes went wide. "Wait, isn't that River Dragon's ink?" The cafeteria boss couldn't believe it. He reached out and rubbed my tattoo. "Is that a temporary tattoo?" He rubbed hard twice. It wouldn't come off. "A lunchbox vendor and you dare to get River Dragon's Xidagarba tattoo?" The big guy asked nervously. "Boss, could he actually be River Dragon? I heard he got out recently?" The boss rolled his eyes. "The chairman position at UNDERWORLD'S Group has been held open for River Dragon this whole time. You think he'd give up being chairman to come sell lunchboxes?" Mid-sentence, he suddenly punched me in the gut. "You got some nerve." Back in the day, River Dragon took on 1,000 men with one blade. You're just a dead man looking for trouble. Continued. He pulled out his phone and took my picture. You're done. I'm sending this to my friend at Yuan Group. They'll be here any minute, you're dead. Nono looked at me, face drained of color. What did you tattoo on yourself? I forced a smile. Go home first. Suddenly, Nono burst into tears, crying. You steal scrap metal and you tattoo Xidigarba on yourself? Don't you know all these years tons of people pretended to be River Dragon and got killed by Yuan Group? Continued. Run! I stared at Nono in shock. Was she worried about me? Even though she thought I was a pathetic father, she still didn't want me to get hurt. Seeing her care made my guilt even stronger. Continued. The cafeteria boss grabbed me. Don't even think about running. I was just gonna teach you a lesson. Who knew you had a death wish? Suddenly, his phone rang. He answered casually. Brother Wei, yeah, this guy's all beat up. That was me. You coming over? Wait, what? The entire UNDA board is coming? His eyes suddenly went wide, staring at me in shock. Everyone gasped. The big guy couldn't believe it. You know them? The cafeteria boss said, how would I know people that high up? But they just called saying they're on their way. The big guy was in awe. That's loyalty. Just impersonating their boss and the whole crew mobilizes. The cafeteria boss said to me coldly, I bet it's because River Dragon's reputation. Can't have any random nobody disrespecting him. You're about to learn what death means. Nono was on the verge of a breakdown. She ignored the boss's earlier threats. Ran to my side, shoved me hard, crying. Just go. You already made my mom wait 15 years. You want to make her a widow too? Watching Nono break down, guilt washed over me again. It's all my fault. I put them through 15 years of suffering. Nono cried to the cafeteria boss. Continued. Please don't call them! He just stole scrap metal. He doesn't know anything about River Dragon. He was young and stupid 15 years ago, went to jail for stealing scrap. When he went in, he'd never even heard of that legend. He's not copying on purpose, it's just a coincidence. The cafeteria boss paused. Continued. Then burst out laughing again. Ha ha ha, I'm dying! Went to jail for stealing scrap metal. Is there anything more pathetic than that? Ha ha ha. Nono looked humiliated, but she still grabbed my hand and tried to pull me away. Continued. The boss immediately blocked our path with his guys, sneering. Think it's that easy to leave? Yuenda already made it clear. Anyone who dares tattoo the Xidigarba is declaring war on them. Nono cried out. I told you he got it over 10 years ago. Ha 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 ha! I don't care if he was framed or not. If you die today, remember next life not to steal people's business. Watching us surrounded, Nono panicked, desperately looking at her friends, crying. Continued. Aren't you guys gonna help? The group stayed silent. The red-haired girl spoke up. Are we even that close? Nono froze. She couldn't help saying, but we're blood sisters. The red-haired girl shook her head. If you were really a good sister, you wouldn't drag your friends down with you. You caused this mess and want to pull us in too? You don't deserve to be our sister. Once she spoke, the other girls chimed in. Continued. Yeah, you want us to die? You got the nerve to mention we're blood sisters. Messing around is one thing. Who's actually gonna die with you? Nono said desperately. I'm not asking you to fight Yuanda, just please help us get out of here. Continued. Her friends said nothing. I knew right then Nono's world was collapsing. All I felt was heartache. 15 years in prison. I knew Nono must have been bullied all these years. She just didn't want to get bullied anymore, so she hung out with these delinquents, formed a crew. Continued. In desperation, Nono tried to break through. But how could her small frame match these guys? The cafeteria boss raised his hand impatiently, swung hard at Nono. Little brat, can you just shut up? Before the slap landed on Nono's face, I caught it. The cafeteria boss froze. He said in disbelief. You actually dare to fight back? I said, I don't fight anymore. He said arrogantly. Then let go of me. I shook my head. Hit me all you want, but if you touch her, you're dead. Reborn again. The first thing I did was swallow a centipede alive. They respectfully shouted in unison, Boss! Miss! This sudden turn of events left Nuonuo stunned. To him, Yuanda Corporation was something he wouldn't dare even look at. But now the board members were gathered here, pledging their loyalty to him. Nono turned around, confusion filling his eyes. He probably couldn't understand. How did that scrap metal thief of a father suddenly transform? The cafeteria boss went pale, crying out, Gentlemen, you must be mistaken! He's just a lunchbox seller! The moment he finished, my men had already pinned him to the ground, eyes bloodshot, roaring, Today is your last day on Earth. The cafeteria boss screamed desperately, A misunderstanding! It's all a misunderstanding! I walked over to Nuonuo and helped him up. Nuonuo stood up, but his co-workers were still kneeling. I hadn't said a word. None of them dared to move. He swallowed hard, and said sheepishly, I'm River Dragon's woman, I'm sorry. I've been hiding it from you all this time. He stared at me wide-eyed. 15 years ago, you took on 1,000 men alone with one blade, staining half the river red. Is that legend true? How could one person possibly fight off 1,000? I said, It's true. I'll tell you once we deal with this guy. I glanced at the cafeteria boss. My brothers understood what I meant. They immediately started dragging him toward me. The cafeteria boss was terrified, screaming, Help! Being dragged across the ground like a dead dog. And that tough guy was frozen too. The one who was so vicious just moments ago. Now his legs were shaking, trembling, trying to escape through the crowd. But he was too scared. Maybe he'd done plenty of evil before. Maybe he'd been in his share of brutal fights, but some things are more terrifying than anything he'd experienced. Like my name. The moment he heard my name, he was scared out of his mind. When you're that terrified, your legs going weak is beyond your control. He was still trying to run, but his legs got weaker and weaker until finally he collapsed to his knees. He frantically beat his own legs, begging them to work, but it was useless. Before me, he'd lost the courage to stand. My brothers had already grabbed him, dragging him toward me along with every one of his lackeys. I glanced at the red-haired girl and casually said, "Bring those few over too." The red-haired girl who'd been mocking us froze, her face going stiff. "I don't care how much you hit me, but if you touch him, you're dead. A lunchbox seller threatening me? You want me to hit this little girl? Fine, I'll do it right in front of you." Even though I grabbed his hand, he still tried to kick Nuonuo. But I was faster. The moment he lifted his foot, I kicked his other leg. He lost his balance and slammed hard onto the ground. He ate dirt, and people in the crowd couldn't help but laugh. The cafeteria boss lost face. He got up, furious, yelling, "I'm gonna break your arms and legs right now, then hand you over to Yuanda." The moment he finished, the muscular guy charged at me with his crew. Nuonuo panicked. Taking advantage of the chaos, he cried out to me, "Run!" I looked at the guys rushing toward me, sighed, and gently rubbed Nuonuo's head, saying softly, "Do you really admire Dragon?" He froze for a second. I said quietly, "Then I'll show you." The muscular guy rushed up and swung his fist hard at my face. I didn't dodge, just caught his fist with one hand. No matter how hard he tried, his fist couldn't move an inch. The others saw their boss getting overpowered and rushed in to gang up on me. I just lifted the guy up and slammed him into his crew. They went down like dominoes, screaming in pain. The cafeteria boss freaked out, yelling, "Get him! You telling me this many people can't take down one lunchbox seller?" Nuonuo saw the chance and grabbed my hand to run, frantically saying, "Let's go! Yuanda's people are coming." I said, "If we run, they'll just come after us again. Better to end this once and for all." Nuonuo said anxiously, "Stop talking tough and save yourself." "I'm not pretending." He froze, looking at me confused. I knew I couldn't hide it anymore. Right then, a loud noise came from the sky. People looked up confused. 2 helicopters with Yuanda group on them were flying toward us. The cafeteria boss was thrilled, pointing at me excitedly. "You think you're tough? I'm telling you, you're done. Yuanda's people are here. This is your last day on Earth." The crowd parted to both sides. At the end of the road, Rolls Royces and Maybachs were rolling in. Nuonuo saw the scene and started trembling all over. Nuonuo cried to me, "Mom raised me alone and waited for you for 15 years. She always told me not to hate you, said you were actually a reliable man. But where exactly are you reliable?" I sighed and said, "I'm sorry." I held Nuonuo's face, watching him cry hysterically. My heart felt like it was being torn apart. The convoy stopped. My brothers got out of the cars, walking toward me. The cafeteria boss rushed over to them, saying excitedly, "Boss, it's this son of a—" He pointed at me, spitting everywhere, embellishing the story. "This guy's pretending to be Dragon. I wanted to teach him a lesson for Yuanda, but he doesn't even respect Yuanda and tried to run." People at the scene got excited, gossiping, "It's really Yuanda group. Oh my god, this guy's dead. We never see these big shots normally, and today they're all here together." Even the punks who hung out with Nuonuo were excitedly pulling out their phones to record us. Recording us, this pathetic display of loyalty was both sad and laughable. Unlike Nuonuo's low-life friends, my brothers looked at me and I sighed deeply. They're my loyal brothers. I was in prison for 15 years, and they waited 15 years, over 5,000 days, never wavering, just waiting for me to get out. To hand everything over to me. I thought I'd never see them again, but here we are, under such special circumstances. My brothers walked toward me. The cafeteria boss was still bragging. "I fought him so hard for Yuanda just now. Look how messed up he is, that's all me." Nuonuo saw them closing in and panicked, stuttering. "Bosses, this is my dad. He went to prison years ago. His tattoo's from years ago, too. After he came back, I hated him for being in prison, so I didn't want to get close to him." Nuonuo got more scared, but still stood in front of me. "My mom really did wait for him for years. He didn't mean to provoke Yuanda, and he never tried to impersonate Dragon. Please let him go. I'm begging you on my knees." Nuonuo knelt down. For me, he knelt on the ground, sobbing. My heart hurt so bad I could barely breathe. I'd rather see him resenting me forever than see him like this. The cafeteria boss laughed. How sweet. But here's what I don't get. Who the hell do you think you are? How much are your knees even worth? All the Yuanda executives suddenly dropped to their knees, not daring to accept Nuonuo's bow. In that instant, everyone at the scene was stunned, speechless. Before he could even react, the crowd freaked out and backed away. They'd been hiding in the crowd, but with the River Dragon's name dropped, nobody dared to cause trouble. These so-called friends who'd been hanging with Nono looked like total clowns now, just standing there frozen. Heads down, shaking, they walked toward me and stopped right in front of me. The red-haired girl, almost crying, said to me, "Sir, I wasn't trying to mock you just now, I was just joking. Nono, we're like sisters, right? Help me out here." Nono coldly said, "Who's your sister?" Mentioning this made her furious. "When I asked you guys for help, you mocked me. Now you're saying we're sisters? I see right through you." One of my guys came up to me and respectfully asked, "Dragon, what do we do with these punks?" I looked at the cafeteria owner. He was shaking all over, crying. "Dragon. I mean, Mr. Dragon. Chairman Dragon. I had no idea who you were. If I'd known, even with 100 lives, I wouldn't have dared mess with you." I walked up to him, looking down at him. The guy got more and more scared, and his pants started getting wet. One look. Yeah, he pissed himself. I sighed and said, "I'm not stealing your business. Our lunchboxes cost the same. If students buy from you, they can sit inside the cafeteria and eat. But if they buy from me, forget shelter from the weather. I don't even have tables or chairs. They have to leave campus and squat on the street to eat. So why would they choose me? The cafeteria owner swallowed hard and stuttered. Because I'm a crook. Because I'm scum. I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I said, you don't know you're wrong. You just know you messed with someone you can't afford to mess with. You're apologizing just to escape punishment. One of my guys walked over to the wrecked stall and quietly said, Dragon, that's 300 lunchboxes a day. Did you knock these over, or did he pay for them? The cafeteria owner quickly said, I bought them. I saw Dragon working hard, so I bought them on purpose. I asked, so you still want me to pay you back? The owner dropped to his knees. Shaking, he said, of course not. I was blind. Please let me off the hook. I said, since you bought them, you eat them. He froze, staring at the mountain of food on the ground and blankly said, one of my guys shouted, Dragon's cooking not good enough for you? I'll eat it now. The cafeteria owner crawled over to the food, got on all fours like a dog, and started shoveling the food off the ground into his mouth. I asked, how's it taste? He said while eating, trying to please me. Delicious, way better than mine. I said, then finish it all. The owner stared blankly and said, 300 servings? How am I supposed to finish that? The guys got pissed. Can't finish, we'll help you. They shoved his head into the food and he struggled to keep eating off the ground. I glanced at the big guy Jing and casually said, you guys aren't gonna help him eat? Just one sentence and my guys knew exactly what I meant. They dragged the others over next to the cafeteria owner and shoved their heads into the food too. One of my guys said coldly, eat up, eat your fill before you go. That one simple sentence scared the cafeteria owner and his crew senseless. Boss, what kind of job are we talking about here? We've got mines overseas. But that place? War zones, malaria everywhere. People die there all the time. If you're lucky, you'll come back missing an arm or leg after 10 years. If you're unlucky, well, we'll at least bring your ashes home. The cafeteria owner and the big guy heard this and straight up started crying. Can we not go? You can choose not to, but Yuan will make you beg to go. The cafeteria owner panicked. He dropped to his knees and crawled toward me, crying, Brother Long, I really messed up. Please don't let them send me overseas. I heard about the workers at the group's overseas operations. They either get blown up by bombs or have their hands chopped off by local militants. You said you'd only use local workers, so why are you sending me? I'm a human being too. I only made one mistake. This is too much. I said, I heard the principal is your cousin. You've been reported multiple times, but nothing ever happened. And those people who reported you for doing the right thing, their kids got expelled. Do you even have a conscience? He swallowed hard and muttered, well, that's on them for not having good grades. They couldn't get into public school, came to private school, and still caused trouble. So in your eyes, the strong can bully the weak? Does that mean I can bully you too, Brother Long? I cut off the cafeteria owner, reached out, patted his shoulder, and sighed. These kids are growing. I get it. Business is about profit. But when it comes to kids, at least have some conscience. You want me to treat you well, but have you treated these kids well? If they weren't desperate, why would they leave school? They're sitting on the side of the road eating takeout. I was wrong. Before the cafeteria owner could finish, my guys dragged him away. Just like they said, whether they go or not is up to them, but eventually, Yuan will make them beg to go. At this point, Nuonuo's brothers and sisters were already shaking with fear. A red-haired girl cried out, Uncle, we'll never make fun of you again. I reached out, touched her red hair, and said softly, I never planned to do anything to you guys. I just want to say, study hard. Don't worship meaningless stuff. Acting tough at school, calling random people your bros, you think you're cool. But out in the real world, these bad habits will destroy you. She couldn't hold back anymore and started sobbing. I said, next time you come to hang out with my daughter, dye your hair back first, okay? She nodded through her tears. In that moment, he finally couldn't suppress the anger inside and collapsed to his knees. I sighed and started cleaning up the stall by myself. I wanted to keep a low profile. If they hadn't kept pushing, I wouldn't have made a scene. When my guys saw me doing it myself, they rushed over to help. I asked, why is everyone so scared of me? You're making Yuan look like the mafia. They paused, then said, confused, no idea. Probably because we're just that rich. I nodded. After cleaning up, I waved at Nuonuo, signaling him to come back with me. Nuonuo walked beside me, glancing back every now and then because the guys were still following us, refusing to leave. I handed him the last lunchbox and sighed. What a shame. I made this one special for you, even arranged it in a heart shape. Nuonuo took the box, wiped his tears, and said quietly, I thought we were in real trouble. You should have told me you're the river dragon. I asked, you were scared, so why did you still stand in front of me? He cried, even though I resent you for leaving for 15 years, you're still my dad. You're still the man my mom's been waiting for day and night. I smiled, wiped his tears, and said softly, I failed you these past 15 years, but I'll never leave you again. Nuonuo got tired from walking and wanted to sit on a stone block by the road. I quickly pulled out tissues and wiped it clean for him. After he sat down, I poured him soup, handed him chopsticks, did everything a father should do. Nuonuo held his chopsticks and asked, what happened when you fought 1,000 men alone? That's not exactly something to be proud of. I looked into Nuonuo's eyes and reminisced. 15 years ago, my brothers and I founded Yuan Group. We ran an honest business, but back then wasn't like now. There were organized crime gangs that kept using violence to steal our business. Everyone hated them. Everyone wanted to fight back hard. I said, brothers, you all have families. Fighting these thugs will ruin your lives. Better to capture the ringleader. No, swallowed. I know. I've heard your story. You guys were bullied constantly. To fight back, you drew life and death lots, and you got picked. I told Nuonuo honestly, That life and death draw, I was afraid I wouldn't find peace after dying. So I got a Ksitigarbha tattoo on my body, praying to Buddha for mercy, hoping I could be reborn as a human. I told Nuo everything from 15 years ago. I wrapped myself in layer after layer of metal sheets. Since I couldn't move flexibly, I chose to bury myself under the sand at my enemy's sandlot. When he showed up and stood right above me, I stabbed straight through his crotch with a knife. Then I had no choice but to face everyone in that sandlot alone. I can't remember how many times I got stabbed, but thank God I had all those metal sheets wrapped around me. At first they were confused, then they cut through my clothes and saw I was wrapped up like a medieval knight. They lost it and tried to run me over with a bulldozer. The cops showed up just in time. I survived and people started calling me the River Dragon, but I paid the price, sentenced to 20 years. After going to prison, I thought my life was over, until I found out I was about to have a child. I said to Nuo tenderly, "To be a good father, I reformed actively and got out 5 years early, just so I wouldn't miss watching you grow up." Nuo swallowed. "Then why didn't Mom ever tell me all these years? It was organized crime, how could we talk about it? We were afraid enemies would come after us. All these years, we didn't dare let the brothers help your mom financially or let anyone know your identity. But you're back now. Why didn't you tell me?" I pointed at the guys behind us. "You know why, after 15 years, everyone still wants me as chairman?" Nuo shook his head. One brother said sadly, "Brother Long had no kids back then. All of us had parents and children. It wasn't until he went to prison that we realized he rigged the life and death draw. He suggested drawing lots, but from the very beginning, he'd already decided to sacrifice everything for us." I smiled bitterly at Nuo. "I didn't know you existed back then. I even stupidly told your mom to find another man. If I'd known she was pregnant with you, I never would have done it. That year I chose to abandon your mother, and that's exactly why I felt too ashamed to face you. All of you, stop following me. People are gonna think I'm in the mob or something." The brothers got nervous and looked at Nuo for help. Nuo said, "Brother Long won't come back to Yuan because he values loyalty above all. He says true friendship is pure. He doesn't want our money in return. 15 years ago, we were weak and got bullied by gangs. We could only rely on his protection. 15 years later, times have changed. Now it's our turn to repay that debt. Just convince Brother Long to come back to Yuan." I frowned. "You all should go. I didn't do this expecting payback. If you come buy lunchboxes from my stall in the future, that's more than enough to support this brotherhood.